Sure, bro. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udihirayat Shinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hrudayantosto hi abhadrani Vidinoti Suhitsatam नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, The Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 8, Dhruva Maharaj leaves home for the forest, verses 32 and 33. Verse number 32. अतो निर्वततम एषा निर्बन्धस्तव निष्फलः यातिष्यति भवन काले श्रेयसं samupastite. Synonyms: atha, hereafter; nirvatatam, just to stop yourself; esha, this; nirbandha, determination; tava, your; nisfala, without any result; yatisyati, yatisyati, in the future you should try; bhavan, yourself; kale, in due course of time; shreyasam, opportunities; samupastite, being present. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation: For this reason, my dear boy, you should not endeavor for this. It will not be successful. It is better that you go home. When you are grown up by the mercy of the Lord, you will get a chance for these mystic performances. At that time, you may execute this function. Purport: Generally, a thoroughly trained person takes to spiritual perfection at the end of his life. According to the Vedic system, therefore, life is divided into four stages. In the beginning, one becomes a brahmachari, a student who studies Vedic knowledge under the authoritative guidance of a spiritual master. He then becomes a householder and executes household duties according to the Vedic process. Then the householder becomes a vanaprastha, and gradually, when he is mature, he renounces household life and vanaprastha life also and takes to sannyasa, completely devoting himself to devotional service. Generally, people think that childhood is meant for enjoying life by engaging oneself in sports and play. Youth is meant for enjoying the company of young girls, and when one becomes old at the time of death, then he may try to execute devotional service or a mystic yoga process. But this conclusion is not for devotees who are actually serious. The great sage Narada is instructing Dhruva Maharaj just to test him. Actually, the direct order is that from any point of life, one should begin rendering devotional service. But it is the duty of the spiritual master to test the disciple to see how seriously he desires to execute devotional service. Then he may be initiated. Text 33. Yasya yadhaiva vihitam satena sukha dukkhayo atmanam toshayan dehi tamasa param ruchyate. Synonyms: Yasya, anyone; yet, that which; daiva, by destiny; vihitam, destined; saha, such a person; tena, by that; sukha dukkhayo, happiness or distress; atmanam, one's self; toshayan, being satisfied; dehi, an embodied soul; tamasa, of the darkness; param, to the other side; ruchati, crosses. Translation: One should try to keep himself satisfied in any condition of life, whether distress or happiness, which is offered by the Supreme Will. A person who endures in this way is able to cross over the darkness of nations very easily. Purport: Material existence consists of pious and impious fruitive activities. As long as one is engaged in any kind of activity other than devotional service, it will result in the happiness and distress of this material world. When we enjoy life in so called material happiness, it is to be understood that we are diminishing the resultant actions of our pious activities. And when we are put into suffering, it is to be understood that we are diminishing the resultant actions of our impious activities. Instead of being attached to the circumstantial happiness and distress resulting from pious or impious activities, if we want to get out of the clutches of this nescience, then whatever position we are put in by the will of the Lord, we should accept. Thus, if we simply surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we shall get out of the clutches of this material existence. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तान्तिकम् नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते रोमपदस्वामिनिति नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. I humbly bow down and seek blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to purify myself, and please forgive me for any shortcomings or interpretations. So, I'm summarizing these verses from a lecture I heard from Rambha Swami and also a purport, Srila Prabhupada purport. So, we have been discussing this chapter that Dhruva Maharaj leaves home for the forest. So, the scene is that if you see the text 32 and purport, uh, Narada Muni is imparting transcendental knowledge to Dhruva Maharaj, and the main purpose of this knowledge is to help Dhruva Maharaj to get over feelings of distress, because with the help of transcendental knowledge, we can easily cross the material existence. And we know that is. But if you see the purport, Narada Muni is asking him to go back to home and spend life with family, and have time with sports, and have family with overall have family with family, have time with family. Why why Narad Muni asked him saying like that? Because he's testing that he want whether he is fully fixed on the things, I mean, like fully fixed on the devotional service or not. He wants to test it. But on the other side, Dhruva Maharaj is a Kshatriya, and as a Kshatriya, he should have certain qualities and features. Yes, he had, and he's very strict and he's very form fixed in that in his uh, things and devotional service. So it's a test, but because that leads to his for his goodness, I mean, like fortune, and he may get initiated. But in the scenario, in the current scenario, many in the society also in general, they will people will say in general, oh, this is the time for activities of these. We can take this devotional service later when we have some, when we are grown up, like after 50s or 60s, etc. People will say in general, but that is not applicable for devotee. That may be applicable for outside, but as devotee, whenever we get chance, whenever we get this taste of this devotional service, we need to start immediate. And even Rupa Goswami in the Nectar of Instruction says that uh, as soon as we have the opportunity of the devotional service, just purchase it, just buy it, and render it, implement it. So in that context, just Narada Muni is texting for his benefit of the Dhruva Maharaj. So a little bit background again. By rendering these things, devotional service, definitely we will have the long term benefit, but it may not we may not see over the night, but if it requires a patient, that is what ultimately Narad Muni is trying to giving the message in this purport, I mean, like Prabhupada is writing. So here, Narad Muni testing Dhruva Maharaj to get his initiation. So what makes him to go back to go to forest is that back in the past time is that Dhruva Maharaj mothers told to Dhruva that to get what you want is only possible when God gives you that. So he got that impression, and who is God here is his mother is referring to Lord Vishnu. That Lord Vishnu can do anything. Logically, yes, that is perfect and okay. But next thing comes of where we can find this Lord Vishnu. So in that context, his mother said, I don't know, but I know sages, they will go to forest in general. So as he took that impression and immediately went to forest to see Lord Vishnu, but he can't find 5-year-old boy, and but he can't find Vishnu over there. He find all the forest things like animals, birds, snakes, whatever it is, etc. But he can't find Vishnu. But his ultimate motivation is to see Lord Vishnu. He's firmly fixed in it. So he has strong determination. So immediately Narad Muni came there and insisted Dhruva Maharaj, you need to go home, but he is reluctant since he is Kshatriya, he is strong on his characters or features. And we know that Kshatriya is spirit, prestige. So without maintaining his honor and spirit is not a Kshatriya. But here Narad Muni is saying that you need to let go and to let go that spirit and needs a transcendental mode in order to see Lord Vishnu. That is what is giving the message ultimately. So here in order to get this transcendental message, first, as a prerequisite, we need to develop a quality. That quality is called, that is what he is here is tolerance. Before, when we seek the transcendental knowledge, we need to have the tolerant. Tolerance is very, very important in devotional service. So while we're developing this quality, this feature, there is a duality that blocks us to develop this quality again and again. That and in the Bhagavad Gita 2.14 it says clearly that Mastras Parshastu Kaunteya Shitoshna Sukha Dukkada Agama Paino Nityas Tamas Titik Shasva Bharata. Titik Shasva, nothing but the tolerant, like form fix. So in that translation, 2.14, O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from the sense perception, ocean of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So here we are not looking for any happiness or avoid any happiness determined by external things. It's because these external things are configuration of dualities like good fortune, ill fortune, or happiness, distress, cold, warm, light, dark, up, down, happy, sad, honor, dishonor, etc. So we know that this world is of duality, which is not important to us at all. If we say yes to these dualities, ultimately it leads to impersonalism and voidism. That's what we say, right? Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. So ultimately, Narada's advice is not that at all for us. So what happens if we don't tolerate? So according to the Bhagavad Gita, the consequence of not tolerate, I mean, like when we lose the patience or tolerance, it leads to frustration. Vitaraga bhaya krodha manmaya man upastitaha bhavaho gnana tapasa utamad bhavam agata. Being free from attachment, free fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attain transcendental love for me. So uh, the consequence is that when we have this uh, lost the patience, then we will come into the frustration, and that leads to impersonalism and voidism. Ultimately, we might lose the faith as well. So the bottom line is that we need to accept all the circumstances and tolerate them because these circumstances are made from God. In the purport also, that if three purport, in the final one, Prabhupada says that if we want to get out of the clutches of this science, then whatever position we are put in by the will of the Lord, we should accept it. So we know that every day we need to take care of our family, job, and etc. Those are there as a part of our purification, but those are not ultimate. Those are like That's a part, that's a occupation, that's it. So a lot of ups and downs will come, but those are like just matter of time, that's it. But still we need to have the firm fix in Guru and Krishna. We need to render service and we need to continue devotional service. Then only we can see progress, and we can continue for the long run. Thus, if we simply surrender unto the supreme personality of Godhead, we shall get out of the clutches of this material existence. As otherwise, as a result, we may lose faith in God as well. So the tolerance, nothing but the in order to get this tolerant, we need to do some austerity as well. So it won't come directly. So like rising early morning and doing participating japa call, so that we have some fixed time in our day where we have reserved, so that our day goes very well. We know the next activity is what going to happen in a day, so that we will be planned and we will have the perfect schedule, so that we will have that tolerant. Otherwise in the middle something comes up, we may lose the track, and slowly we will deviate the path, and frustration will arise as one because of these steps consequences. So in the whole, in the devotional service, the tolerance is very important. That's what Narada Muni is giving the instructions from these verses, and that's what he is saying to uh, Dhruva Maharaj as well. Because whenever we get the chance, we need to take that opportunity and we need to continue the devotional service. So I will stop here. Thank you again for the opportunity for my purification. Please forgive me for any shortcomings or Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha